All right, good morning guys. We're back at it again. Mr. Midlife Crisis.
Hello.
He's back again, helping with the garage. This has been going on for a while now because you were initially here with me.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So what we're gonna be working on today is we're gonna start the roof on the lean on. So we've got our pieces of roofing down here. So these are 10'7", so they'll go across the lean on. And then for the bigger portion of the roof, then we've got the big 23-foot long pieces down there. But we're gonna start nice and small, keep it nice and easy.
Smart.
Oh yeah. So the first step that Brian and I did was we just loaded these short panels up onto the front of the tractor. And I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to actually place the panels directly on top of the lift, which we weren't able to do. The lift was, or the tractor just didn't have quite enough height, but for the other main panels, I came up with another solution to be able to get those panels up so that we didn't have to move them 2 or 3 over at a time. Doing the roof initially was the scariest part, but after Brian and we did this lean on side, it actually really wasn't that bad. I'm not wearing a harness or I'm not tied off when we're doing the lean on part, but for the other main parts of the roof, you'll see that I was definitely tied down. So at the top of each of these panels, I'm putting a piece of closure strip just to basically essentially prevent any airflow and any bugs and any birds from trying to get in under the panels up into the building here. So we just had to put those down as we put the new panels up. And once we started getting these first few panels up, felt very comfortable on the roof. With a 312 pitch roof, it was quite easy to walk on. It wasn't too steep or anything like that. So I actually felt pretty safe up here. And later on, when I was actually using the full harness, I found that the rope actually got in the way more often than not. And the times that I did trip was tripping over the support line, I guess. Alright guys, day 2 of working on the roof on the aircraft hangar is what a lot of people think that it is. So today Travis and I are going to work on getting some of these big ass roofing panels. So these guys are 23.5 feet or something like that long. So what I think that we're going to do is we're going to take about half this stack, load it onto the front of the tractor, bring the tractor over here, and then lift it up onto the lift. Brian and I found out yesterday is that the lift on the tractor just doesn't quite get high enough to lift the panels directly onto the top of the lift. So what I did was I dug out some area here, pushed that dirt up here so that I have a nice little kind of like launching pad here for the tractor, and that should give me enough distance to get up and put those panels right on top there. So each of these panels weighs a pretty good amount. I'm not sure the exact weight, but probably at least 50, 60 pounds, and they're quite long, quite awkward. So we just loaded up 2 panels at a time and just limited it to about 10 panels at a time, just so that we weren't gonna load too much onto the lift at once. And thankfully my little plan for the lift here, my little launch pad, it worked to be able to get these long panels up there just because they're so heavy and so awkward. It would have been very difficult to do it just by hand bombing them up there. But thanks to RR Buildings, I watched a few of his videos when he's been doing some roofs, and just these little tidbits of being able to get the panels up there certainly really helped, and for basically being able to put the panels on the roof. So for the first main panel, we had to do it from the side. It was a little bit easier to do it from the side than to go to the bottom. Once we got that up and secured into place, then I was able to screw my anchor in there and able to get the panels up. So doing these roof panels with 2 people on the bottom, or 1 person on the bottom and 1 person up, was a little bit of a struggle. We're able to do it, but it's much easier if there's two people lifting the panels at the bottom, which we ended up doing for the other half of the roof. So Travis isn't tied off with a harness or anything like that, but he felt comfortable enough getting up on the roof and just putting in some of the bottom screws. Whereas like I would do the ones towards the top that might be a little bit more dangerous. And with the position of the lift, if he were to slide down or fall, he'd just slide down into the lift. So it wasn't really that big of a concern. And we were able to get a lot of this done, just the two of us. We also had the help of Kevin and his son Skylar to help with the other half of this side of the roof. And then it was Bill, Brian, and myself that did the full other half. But once we really kind of got our method down, we were able to do this very quickly. In fact, like the other half of the roof that we did with Bill and Brian, which you're seeing right now in the video, we're able to do the other half of the roof in just about 5 hours time. So we found that how we originally were loading the panels on, they're actually opposite to how we wanted them to go on there. So it was kind of making it a little bit difficult to get the panels up there. So I basically had to pick up the panels, put them down, pick them up from the other side, because on one side of the panels there's the overlap edge, and then on the other side there's the underlap edge. So for this last set of panels, I was actually just able to pick up the skid they were on, set them down right on there, and then we're able to move the lift over, no problem, and just get those panels up there. This lift was definitely the right lift for the job, just based on the size of it and that it was run on gasoline, and obviously being 4x4, definitely absolutely needed for this. But you can see how much easier it is right now with having two guys lift those panels up, basically keeping it away from scratching the other panels below and scratching the roof. So this was actually a much better way of doing it that we found. So on the edge there, Bill and Brian are making sure that we have a 2-inch overlap continuous along the entire length of the roof there. So we'll be able to get some gutters installed and do some rainwater harvesting on this bad boy. All right, guys, the outside of the building is done. I looked at my first YouTube video that I did on this project. It was over a year ago, and I'm very glad, very satisfied that I did follow through and finished it, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without the help of everyone that came out and assisted me with this build. Bill, Brian, Lauren, Vita, Travis, Clay, Kevin and his son Skylar, and I think that's it. And obviously Hannah gave me a hand as well, so big thanks to her for helping me out. But the outside is done. Thank goodness. We are watertight. There's just a few things that I just need to fix up on the roof, but they're very minor. We're good to go. So it's just showed on the roof cap there, so they have to send me another piece to fix that up there. But other than that, we are looking good, and oh my goodness, we got a big wall here already. So I've been recording the video for this, so you'll see that up when I finish the other 7 sheets of plywood here. But this is gonna be the partition wall, and coming inside here is gonna be my big, beautiful shop. So I'll end up putting a ceiling on here with some plywood, and this entire area, we're gonna get it spray foamed. So it's gonna be nice and insulated. It didn't make a lot of sense to insulate the main part of the garage because I knew that we're only essentially going to be insulating where the vehicles are going to be, so it's not really that big of a deal. But the shop area is where I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the future. So that's why we're gonna insulate it, and I'll probably get some mini splits installed so we can both heat and cool it throughout the summer and throughout the winter. And I also know a lot of you have been asking about, are we gonna be collecting rainwater on this? What is gonna be going inside of here? Like, why is it so big? So I'm gonna be doing an entire video next. I'll record it today. It'll be up in a few days, explaining what our plans are gonna be for this area. So there's gonna be a lot going on in here. Hannah and I are super stoked for what's gonna be happening here. And then I'll also talk about future house plans in the next video as well. Awesome, thanks so much for watching, guys, and for following along and sticking with the channel, and definitely getting my mojo back, and we'll keep the videos coming, showcasing what we're doing out here. And I'm really excited for the videos in the future when I can do some metalworking, some woodworking in the shop area there. And the next steps for having the lift here is I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna be wiring up the lights and the garage door openers, and running some switches for the lights there as well. So I got some of these badass LED 2-foot high bay lights, which are gonna be perfect for this area because they're super bright and they don't use a ton of electricity. I think they're only 170 watts or something like that. So those are gonna be sweet, and I'll show you how I'm installing them in here. Awesome, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.